What up YouTube, it's Misery's Company. In today's video, I want to talk about melding and overall familiars. And at the front, you shouldn't be melding literally at all. And if you have been, you're making a pretty big mistake. So make sure you watch this video to the very end. We're going to talk about more detail, the fine details of the familiars and what you need to know to get them the min-max to the best of your ability and what you should be focusing on and how to do it really. I had a whole different video completely recorded with the thumbnail made ready to go. And I deleted it because it wasn't good enough for you guys. So I have changed it, completely redone it, and here is the result, which is a completely new video. So let's get straight to it. So first things first, there's two types of familiars. So we have the ordinary and the aberrant. How do you know what the difference is? Well, ordinary doesn't have anything on them outside of the different colors, and then aberrant has this little purple flag. We'll get to the differences here in just a second. For first things first, the different rarities are more or less the same. So for an ordinary, it can be common, which is this gray color, magic, which is this blue color, rare, which is the yellow, or orange, which is, well, that color of that skill right there. But that is like your generic legendary color like you see on your gear. For the aberrant, it can only be magic, which is blue, rare, or legendary, but it's only a 1% chance of making an aberrant legendary, and a ordinary can never be legendary. So the highest they can get is this gold color, which is rare. Now, why would that matter? Well, again, let's go into more details here. So as you can see, there's all these different stars. There's 6 different stars on the frame of my main Virog here. He's rare rarity, and then you can see I have 6 skills, 2 of which are rare and 4 of which are magic, or the blue color. That is what those stars represent. They don't represent how high in terms of upgrading they are. If you want to see what an orange one looks like or a legendary, it's right there. So this guy has 1 legendary passive skill, which is familiar skill damage increased by 18%, and then 4 rares and 1 magic. But there's more. The real thing when it comes to familiars that you need to focus on in the very beginning, which is for all of us right now, are the traits. So if you go down here, you go to your familiar page, which is this right here. Then I want you to click on the very bottom left, which is where I am. So I'll move out of the way. This right here, this trait guide, click on that, and that'll take you here. Now, this is important because your goal with your bonded companions is to max out all 11 of these. You want to get as many as you can, in addition to these, additional ones, which is like the salvage, which allows you to salvage on the go. This one allows you to identify on the go, and then this one allows you to change your overall armory. So actually access your armory through your pet, which is pretty sick. And then there's these other 8. So there's 11 total. Get as many as you can from the 1, 2, 3, 4 bonded familiars, because it doesn't really matter what they are. Now, your goal in that should be bonding your ordinary familiars. You should be leveling them up to level 30, which is what I'm doing right here, and then bonding them. Because that will, there's a chance you can either get them to magic, which is blue, or rare, which has the higher percent chance of becoming above, getting skill traits that are above level 120. Why does that matter? Because traits unlock at level 120. You have to be max level, and then certain traits require certain of these stats to get to level 120 or higher. So as you can see, I have my agility at 166, my insight at 123. So both of his 2 traits, which is what he would have came from, require that. So that's perfect. So now I have both of his traits active, and that's actually the only traits that I have active, which means this guy right here, you can see in order to activate this trait, I need, for the legendary one, I need 170 of veracity, which I only have 107. Pretty far off. So I don't even though I have a legendary trait, I'm not even benefiting from it because it's not active. Now this is a aberrant one, which means it's a lot harder to upgrade. So you almost want to hope that you get all of these as ordinary, and that way you hopefully get them as to rare or even magic with high enough of the stats in order to get them the traits that you want. So think of these as like your Pokemon badges, so that way you can literally min-max and collect them all. And then your companion is the last one that you should focus on. You're going to notice that I haven't even said the word melding yet. Notice at the beginning of the video where I said you should not meld at all. Well, this is why. Because melding doesn't actually help you get to these additional traits. In fact, it'll help you get there, but way longer, and after using a ton more resources. Because there's a chance that you could actually get to a rarity, a rare rarity with your ordinaries, that would be the most efficient way to unlock these traits. So every time you use either a common or magic, just level it up to level 30, and then convert them and see how lucky you get. And then as soon as you get to rare and you get some traits active, do a different one. So this one, for example, Virag, who I'm using as my main companion, has 2 traits. So he would actually be a better bond, but because he's nice and big, I like to use him as my companion. I still get his passive traits though. So that's the goal. And then only after you have all of the traits that you want, and keep in mind, in order to get this one, every time you salvage, you have a 30% chance of getting an an aberrant familiar, and a 10% chance after each conversion to get one of these unique traits, which are the remote access ones, if you will. So keep that in mind. It's only a 10% chance, which you're going to want to basically do a ton so you can get the one that you want. Most people are going to want the salvage one, but if you really want to min-max, you could go for all of them. I personally think the identify one and the salvage are the ones that I would want the most, but prioritizing the salvage would definitely be the one that I would want the most. And then after that, I will just go for the ones that I feel like are the best, which again, whatever you can get really, as many as you can. And then so once you have all of the traits that you want, then and only then should you work on your main companion. So if anything, it's actually probably backwards from what most people think is the correct way of progressing your familiar. Because once you have all of the traits that you want, only then should you meld. And the reason being is if you go over here and talk about melding, melding combines 2 familiars, and keep a note, you can only meld the ordinary familiars. It's why it says it in the first line. Ordinary familiars can be melded after reaching level 30. Aberrant familiars cannot, which is why they cost a lot more to upgrade, which means the only way of actually upgrading my aberrants is to keep converting them. So you literally have to just keep getting 3 aberrants, combine them, and hope that you get a higher rarity, which is pretty rough. And that's going to cost a ton because every time you convert a ordinary, there's a 30% chance that it turns into an aberrant. And then to convert an aberrant, you need 3 of them at level 30. And only then will you get 1, and there's a chance that you get a higher rarity than what you have. Now, that's where the stones come into play. So if we go to familiar details, go to convert. So the aberrant ones, once you have more selected, I don't have any other ones that you can see, but it does cost you platinum to do it. And then you can actually use these skill stones. So these stones at the top right up here actually is what allows you to prevent it from getting lower. So unfortunately, magic is the lowest you can get for an aberrant. So this guy is pretty terrible. He does have a legendary trait, and as long as I keep using my skills when I convert him, I'll never lose that legendary trait. Now, I could lose the other rarities of my skills, but it's a chance. So it's kind of like the charm system in that way, and I've heard a lot of people reference that, and it is accurate. But this is the main thing. So the conversion is the only way you can upgrade to enable to get a legendary pet, which is kind of rough. If you want the 3rd form, which is the biggest version or the coolest looking version of your pet, you have to get legendary. And the only type of pet that can be legendary are the aberrant ones. So, and they can't even meld. So in order to get like a perfect roll, you just have to be incredibly lucky, which sucks. Sucks a lot. So with that being said, it's going to be very, very difficult. I would be very surprised to see anyone with legendaries for a while, because we don't have that many ways of getting new contracts. That's sort of where the bottleneck is in this game right now, is that you get these the spirit essences pretty quickly. And on day 1, we were all like, oh man, we're not getting enough of them. But then we already made a video. I mean, it's on my channel. It's on several other people's channels, how to get these spirit essences. And that's pretty easy to upgrade them. But you don't get enough contracts. That's the real bottleneck right now. Now, it's already been suggested in the Diablo Partner Program chat that we should probably get it from the hilts. That would be a really obvious sort of easy way of obtaining additional contracts, is just weekly via the hilts. You can, of course, buy them weekly as well from the contract shops. You can get 3 a week, which isn't a lot. I'm going to be honest, not a lot at all. And of course, you can try to buy the familiar shop, but it's almost always sold out. And my understanding is that this is probably just in between, like, I think everyone accesses this. So unless you're like standing here, I'm pretty sure you will just never catch it, which kind of sucks. We can check the overall market if you wanted to buy a pet there. I've seen some go for pretty aggressive amounts. I went the wrong way. So if you go to familiars, there's 1, 2, there actually are some. Let's check them out. And it's gone. Sick. Did it not just say there was one there? Oh, it got sold while I was looking at it. That's awesome. So you can see these are going for 128,000. Now this one has 2 traits. This one has 1 trait. This one has 5 out of the, what, 6? So yeah, I mean, they're going for some pretty noticeable amount of gold. And it's a hell of a grind, guys. Oh, this one has legendary skills, or legendary traits. So it sees, and it's inactive. That's the thing. Don't fall prey to this. This is an aberrant one, which is great, but you're never gonna get you're never gonna get this active unless you convert it again and again and again. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Honestly, I mean 128. Wait, this is 1,000,000 gold. Holy shiza. This is 1,280,000 gold. How much could I sell mine for? Oh, I have to disconnect. I have to remove it. Honestly, I literally might do this, like right now. Return. Oh, and then impact. Oh. So wait, why would I impact? Impact with the familiar permanently dismisses them and grants familiar spirit essences and conversion stones. The number of spirit essences received depends on the level of familiar being dismissed as follows. Well, no, I don't want to do that. But can I just remove it? Or is that what it's saying? Okay, there you go. I don't want to remove the pact, unless that's how you sell it. But let's go up here, open market, sell, up here. How much could this guy sell for? 64,000. If I sold him at max, wow. I mean, yeah, these are probably going to go for max, so it would be 128,000 plat. You know, it's tough, because, I mean, you don't get... Yeah, I mean, this might be a video for a different time, but you could argue you don't get enough from pets in terms of you don't get any combat rating, and you don't get any of the hard stats. You get these other abilities that buff your other pets. You could argue that the most efficient thing to do is to sell your pet. Something to think about. Reason being is that I could take this 128,000 platinum and put it towards 5-star legendary gems, which would be pretty good. Or even maxing out my 2-star legendary gems, which is maybe what I'll do. Because again, I'm never, realistically, with how slow this is going to go, I'm not going to get to the legendary pet for a long time. So the most thing that I'm actually going to be using my pets for is just the auto pickup. While other people are going to want to be maxing out a legendary, I mean, you could get it maxed out. You know, I don't know. So if we look at where I'm at with my legendary gems, I just got done fully maxing out my, where is it at? I think I passed it. My power and command. I have a Mother's Lament maxed out. I maxed out my Viper's Bite. My Fervent Fang should be maxed out after one more battle pass and one more Boon of Plenty. And then I will then replace my 1-star legendary gems that I have here with, again, something that I've already switched out or started working on, which is my Pain class, which is level 8. And then my last one will be the Igneous Scorn. I also have, if you've seen my live streams, I've been getting incredibly lucky with my Maw of the Deeps. So I do have a level 4 Maw of the Deep, which I am considering switching out for my Starfield Shard, because this is more consistent damage. This will happen every 20 seconds, whereas this one has a chance of happening every 20 seconds and has a 30% chance of proccing. Hard to say which one's better. I think Maw of the Deep will be better, but this one's a 3 out of 5, and I only have a 2 out of 5. So, but yeah, that is something else I could do with my platinum, is then turn it into maybe work towards a 4 out of 5 Maw of the Deep, which would benefit me a great deal and get me more overall stats. So for most people, I think that the free-to-play way of dealing with pets is everything that we just sort of talked about. Focusing on your traits first. I don't even know where I'm going now. Focus on your traits first with your bonds, and then just keep converting. Don't meld. Meld is going to slow you down dramatically. Again, I have 2 traits active, which is damage taken reduced and damage reduction increased, which is fine. I'll take those traits. Would I love to have this traits where damage taken reduced even more? Of course, but we're not. It's going to take a long time for me to be able to do that, especially as if I treat this as a free-to-play option. But even from a pay-to-win, there's no other bundles. Once you buy out the bundles that are available, there's no other limited time bundle. No other bundles. If you go to specials, there's nothing else. You can't get them anymore. So we're kind of stuck. Going to be interesting to see what the future lies, but hopefully this breakdown of the pets helps you. Again, I think for most people, it makes sense to at least consider selling them once you get ones that go for at least 6 figures. And then after that, just keep working on the ones that you have until you get, a few more aberrant. Because that one aberrant I have to get 2 more aberrant before I can even try to combine it. And even then, it's a very small chance that I get either a rare or even a legendary. It's a 1.7% chance, I believe, was the number to get a legendary trait. or a legendary companion. So, and then even then, what does that really get you? So ask yourself, what is the best way of handling it? I'm probably going to end up selling the one that I showed you guys and using the platinum to either get additional normal gems or legendary gems, because I think pets are really cool, but ultimately I'm going to get more overall strength from those gems. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what approach you're taking, because honestly the prices will likely drop for pets once they're not the new hot thing. So this could be a very limited time strategy. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys, and until next time, lock it in.